Good morning, boys and girls. Miss Noble here, and today's reading lesson is going to be about your new superpower, your letter sound power. So what we talked about yesterday in your small groups was that when you came to a word after you've read the pattern and you're trying to figure out what that word might say, remember you can use the pictures, but what the next superpower I gave you really did for you is that when you get to that word, you look for the first letter in that word and you think about the sound that that letter makes, and then you have to think about what makes sense based on the picture or maybe based on what the book is about. So yesterday in your small group, some of our groups did bugs. We talked about all different kinds of bugs. I remember Miss Noble took away your picture power and you didn't have pictures. You just had to think about different bugs that you knew about. So one of them yesterday was I see the and it started with a C, remember? But it was a bug. So you had to think about a bug that started with the k sound. And a couple groups got caterpillar, another group got cricket. So you had to think of that, what would have made sense as a bug and starting with the sound k. And then we went on and then another group did different things with P and J, and you had to think, well, I had jelly and I had a potato. So which one? You had to match the letter with the picture that made sense, right? So what we're gonna do today is I'm just gonna remind you using my pretend little story here. And my little pretend story is called The Pets. I don't know if you could see it from there, but it's as best as I can do. The Pets. So that tells me that all of my sentences are going to be about different types of pets. So now that I know that I should be thinking in my head of all the different pets that somebody might have. Okay, so I'm not going to be thinking about like an alligator because people don't have alligators as pets, right? I'm not going to be thinking about an eagle because people don't have eagles as pets. I might be thinking about cats or dogs or fish or anything like that. So I'm going to have, you and I are going to read these sentences together. And if you notice, I use the same pattern for these as I did in our small group yesterday. So our pattern, because that's one of our superpowers, our pattern is I see the. So all of my sentences start the same way. They start with I see the, and I'm pointing to each word as I say it. So the first sentence I have up here, remember I'm thinking about pets, right? The I see the k, k. The first letter in this is k, k. So I need to think about what pet do I know starts with the k sound. And I bet some of you can even read that word, k, at. But what pet do you know starts with a k sound? It's a cat, right? And so what I'll do to help us, and now I'll be so nice and I'll put back in your picture power, right? I'll draw a quick picture of a cat because now we know that that's a cat. I see the cat. Because what I want you doing right now is really using that brain and really thinking about the sounds and what words start with those sounds, okay? Coming down here, my next sentence says, I see the d, because I see the first letter in this word is a D, and D says D. So I need to think of a pet that somebody might have that starts with a D. And maybe some of you are thinking, oh, I know, I see the dinosaur. But you need to stop and think about that. Would somebody have a pet dinosaur? Probably not, right? Okay, so that doesn't make sense. Even though, yes, it starts with a D, dinosaur doesn't make sense because my book is called The Pets. So not only does it have to start with the correct sound and the right letter, it has to make sense. So I see the D. What pet do you know starts with the D sound? A dog, right? And I'm going to draw a quick doggy over here with some droopy ears and a cute little mouth. All right, there's my dog face. I see the dog. All right, coming down here, my next sentence says, I see the, my first letter here is a F. All right, what pet do you know starts with the F? And I put this one in here to try and trick you and to show you how you can use other letter sounds to help you. So I bet some of you are thinking, I see the fish, right? Because fish would be a pet that a lot of people have, and fish starts with the f sound, right? But my word here doesn't say fish, okay? And I'm gonna know that because I'm gonna look at some of the other letters in my word, and I see the letter R. R says fur. Fish doesn't sound like fur, right? So fur, I'm gonna keep going. I see more letters that I know, so I'm gonna keep going since I can't figure it out yet, and I don't think it says fish. So I'm gonna keep going. Fur, frog, frog, frog. I see the frog. So sometimes you're going to have to look at more than just the first letter, okay? And here's my cute little froggy. He's hanging out over there. So I see the frog. Those letter sounds are really going to help you when you're not quite sure which word it should be. And the last sentence I have here